Hello, my name is Nicholas Pizanis, and this is Stories in Action. Today, I have my good friend Bella Whitwer, who actually lives on the same floor as I do. Now, I wanted to introduce y'all to a very interesting story that I've heard once or twice, and it tells my friend Bella urinating on her cousin. So, without further ado, tell me, Bella, how does this story eventually lead to that seemingly horrific event?
Okay, first of all, it was an accident, and you know that, okay? So, to preface, usually my cousin and I, like some of my extended family, go to my aunt's cabin every summer. We kind of stopped after COVID because my aunt like sold her cabin and everything, but I digress. We went there like every summer when I was like 9 up until I was about like 13, 14. So I can't make the excuse that that happened when I was like little because I fear I was conscious enough to know what was happening. But again, it was an accident, which I will explain. But what we did was it was typically over like 4th of July weekend. So we did like fireworks, we did like a cookout and everything. But the main event, my favorite part, was always tubing. We went tubing on the lake. And this year specifically, I think it was like 2018, 2019, one of the two. We got a new tube and it was like a bowl. It was a very weird tube. Usually we have the one where we just like sit on and we have handles. We were like fully decked out. We never like raw dogged it. We had this big ass life jacket. We wore rubber gloves because the handles were really rough and they hurt our hands. So like to stay out on the lake longer, we would wear gloves. So we like built up a resistance and we also wore goggles. We looked super goofy, but it was super fun. We'd like get thrown off and whatnot. But we were like, let's get this new tube we can't fall out of, right? Because it's literally a bowl. But it could only fit two people. So I just went with my cousin and I. My cousin Caden, he's 1 year older than me. And he's the only cousin I'm really close with in my family because all my other cousins were a lot older than me. They were all boys. And I mean, Caden's obviously a guy too, but he's gay. So we had a little bit more in common. And he was just a lot more chill than all the others. So we decided we were going to try out the new tube first, right? This new tube was like a bowl, like I said. The bottom of it was very thin. It was like a sheet of like a tarp almost. Like unlike all the others, like you sit on like an inflatable thing, right? But this one was literally like a tarp. It was weird. So we were sitting in there. Caden was in front of me and I was behind him. We were both like on our knees, right? And we start going on the water and we can feel every single wave, like the water going up and down. And it was fine at first until we told the boat to speed up. And we started, getting sucked under. Caden was in front of me, so he got sucked under first. So I was on top of him, and he started screaming, like very high pitched, very like, how can I imitate this? He was like, ah, ah. You could just imagine it. I wish he was here to tell the story too. He would be yelling at me. He'd be like, yeah, you fucking peed on me, bro. But that's not happening yet. So he gets sucked under and he's like, Bella, tell them to slow down. But he's like screaming it and he's also going like because he's so dramatic and very gay. And that's just what he does. He like always makes dramatic noises anyways. So this was just amplified and I was laughing because he was also like the waves were like making him bounce up and down and he was just like being ridiculous. So he told the Bella, tell him to slow down. And we have like these little hand signs, literally just saying like thumbs up or thumbs down to slow down or speed up. He told him to tell him to slow down, obviously. I told him to speed up because I was laughing so much. And he starts screaming louder and he's like, Bella, help. And I told, and I have a very weak bladder. Okay. And this is embarrassing. Okay. If I laugh too hard, I will pee. Okay? I can't help it. It's not like I pee like everything comes out. It's like a little bit, okay? It's not like I'm full on can't control myself. It's just like, boop. My mom says I have the bladder of a 60-year-old woman that's had 4 kids. But anyways, so that's the backstory of that. So, and he knows this. He knows this. Caden is fully prepared. He should have known better. But I tell him, I warn him, I'm like, Caden, stop. I will pee. And then to make matters worse, he screams and his voice cracks while he's screaming. He's like, Bella, don't pee on me. He's screaming at me. And while he's saying it, like, ow, and like, so naturally, I laugh harder. And guess what happens? I pee. And I tell Caden, and I'm like, Caden, I'm peeing. Because I'm not going to lie. And then he starts screaming more. So naturally, I'm and eventually I tell him to slow down because now I'm like, I feel really bad because I didn't mean to pee on him. I just meant to make him like suffer at the bottom of the, what's it called, the raft or tube, whatever. But the funny part about that story is it actually happens again the following year. Because we're like, hey, remember that one time you peed on me in that one tube? Yeah, that was awful. Let's try the tube again. Let's see if that happens again. So it's not even my fault, actually. I think it's his fault. A very similar thing happened where I did end up peeing. So
I mean, did he have like? Do you think Caden had a type of grudge against you after the fact?
oh, for sure. But like we're chill now, mostly. No, no, I love Caden. He's my closest cousin. We make lots of silly, funny jokes. He'll reference it a lot, but I'll reference evil things he's done to me as well.
Yeah, I was about to ask if he references it a bunch, but how about like your other family members that were also there? How often do y'all talk about it?
Honestly, not that much. I feel like it was more so a personal thing between Caden and I. And if my aunt or uncle like remembers it, they'll talk about it, but I think it's kind of like left their brain. But definitely a funny story. It will, if it gets brought up, it's a whole cackle from the aunts and uncles.
How often do you tell this, like, say, new friends or something? Because I learned about it within like a month of knowing you.
Okay. Because it's like getting to know you topics. Everyone's like, what's the most embarrassing thing or like the weirdest thing you've ever done? And I'm like, well, that's it.
Peeing on someone.
That's gotta be it. And you know, like college students, they always ask like the weird questions, like, have you peed on someone? I feel like you'd be surprised how many situations this story applies to. And hey, it gets people to laugh. You were pretty silent while I was telling the story, but
I know what to think
that's
about you.
because like, what do you mean? Because you've heard it before. I'm also like very open, so like I like to be funny. Anyways,
All right.
don't know what to think about me. Damn. That I have a weak bladder. My bad.
All right, so obviously you did tubing and all that. So what
Yeah.
type of like other, I guess, activities did y'all engage in when you were at this cabin?
We did like paddle boarding. My grandpa sometimes took us fishing, but I didn't like to fish. I thought it was super boring. So when Kate and I caught a fish, which I now realize this was very cruel, but like we didn't think that at the time, okay? We were stupid little kids, but we played like Fishes Got Talent, and we would make the fish dance once we caught them, like in and out of the water, and then we'd let them go. We thought that was better than killing them, okay? Listen. Okay, anyways. We also had, I don't remember what it's called, but it's like this big mat that goes on the water and it floats. What's it called?
Like a lily pad?
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Something like that. And we play like King the Hill, like where we try to like push each other off and be the last one standing. Oh, and sometimes my grandpa would throw fish at us. And I actually hated that.
Oh.
Because one of them cut me one time.
Oh, like the fins.
Yeah.
Sharp. Oof.
No, it was rough. But it was actually fine. And also my cousin brother and I, we would also like we had this one room. The cabin was so cool. Like I always thought it was like a maze, but it was also really scary because there weren't a lot of lights, and I was scared of the dark. I'm still scared of the dark. I don't like the dark. So that's another reason we all like kind of slept together. But there was like this loft. You had to go up on a ladder, and it was a long ladder. And it was like three mattresses, like all in a row, but we all like clumped together. Like you know the crudes, how they like pile up.
Yeah.
We kind of slept like that. It was like a little cave. And I remember one night specifically, actually, I ended up sleeping upside down. I don't know
Like
how I
like vertical upside down?
partly like I flipped, like my feet were where my head was supposed to be, and I was at an angle. I was like half off the bed. I don't know how that happened.
Was it at least comfy?
No. I like
Oh.
woke up in the middle of the night and I like everything's pitch black, which I hated because I was scared of the dog.
Yeah.
But I was like looking around and then I feel feet and I'm like, oh, and then Kaden kicked me in the face and I was like, oh no. It was scary. But anyways, and even though like as we got older, we like slept in our like we were supposed to sleep in like different beds, but we were all like, nah, we want to sleep in the same bed. So like we all hung out. It was cute.
Okay, that's nice. And you said you kept on doing that up until like you guys sold the house, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Up until we stopped going there over the summer. Yeah, there's a few things that we like kept doing. Kayaks sometimes. Traditional like cabin-ish things with like bags.
Yeah. Any bonfires?
Yeah,
Love
actually.
bonfires.
Sometimes we did some like scary stories, but I'm the youngest in my whole family. So like everyone picked on me and like specifically told scary stories to fuck with me. So I didn't enjoy that as much. I didn't like the scary stories at the bonfire. There was an eagle. There's an eagle that lived in a tree literally right in our backyard, actually. It was
Cool.
huge.
Dang.
I just remembered that. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. And then I guess lastly, back to the original story. You pissing on your cousin.
Okay, okay.
I mean, every time you say that, I feel like people get a certain idea of you. Anything you want to clear the air about?
I'm not a freak. It wasn't on purpose. I'm not weird, okay? Listen, we need to like destigmatize women peeing by accident. I've talked to so many people, and like when you say it, like even my mom is like, girl, why do you do that? I'm like, it's not on purpose. But when I talk to all my friends like my age, they're like, yeah, if I jump too high and like land, there's like too much pressure, I'll pee. If I do jumping jacks, I'll like pee a little bit, or if I laugh too hard, I'll pee. So like, it's not just me. I'm not crazy. People just don't talk about it because it's embarrassing, and I agree, it is embarrassing. But like at the same time, it's like it's
But
not
you
like you
feel-
do it on purpose.
Yeah, you feel brave enough to share that story.
I'm brave,
You're brave. So
and
brave.
it's only a little bit. It's only a little bit. And it hurts me then more than it hurts you. So don't judge me, okay? Be nice. That's what I have for the audience. Be nice. Don't judge me. It wasn't on purpose.
Not a freak.
Not a freak. Just have a weak bladder, okay?
Just a bit.
Yeah. That is all.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Bella. This was Stories in Action by Nicholas Pizanis with storyteller Bella Whitwer. Bye-bye.
Bye.